Good morning, girls. In the last class, we learnt about the family and position of women in the early Vedic society. Today, we'll be discussing about the caste system which existed in the early Vedic period. Caste system. There was no rigid caste system among the Indo-Aryans. So among the Aryans who settled in India, there was no rigid caste system. That is a caste system which they followed. It was a very flexible one. It was not a very strict or a very stiff one, but it was a very flexible caste system. The people grouped themselves according to their skills in doing certain jobs. So the Aryans, they grouped themselves according to their skills in doing their particular jobs. The word that was originally used to distinguish between the Aryans and non-Aryans was Varna, meaning color. So initially, the word Varna was used to distinguish between the Aryans and the non-Aryans. And the word Varna, it meant color. The Aryans were fair-skinned and considered themselves superior to the non-Aryans who were dark-skinned. So the word Varna, which meant color, was used to distinguish between the Aryans and the non-Aryans. Now the Aryans who came from Central Asia, they were fair-skinned people, whereas the non-Aryans were dark-skinned. They called the non-Aryans as Dasas or Dasyas. So the non-Aryans were known as the Dasas or Dasyas. Later on, Varna began to be used to refer to social divisions based on occupations. So initially, Varna was used to distinguish between Aryans and non-Aryans, but later on, the term Varna began to be used to refer to divisions based on occupations. Later on, the society was divided on the basis of occupations. Gradually, 4 classes or varnas of people emerged in the society. So slowly, there were 4 classes of 4 varnas of people in the society. The 4 occupational groups were the Brahmins, the priests who performed religious rituals. So there were 4 occupational groups, and the first one was the Brahmins, and they were the priests who performed religious rituals, who performed religious ceremonies. They were the priests who performed religious ceremonies. The next one was the Kshatriyas, the king and the warring class who fought wars and protected the tribe. So in the Kshatriyas, there were the kings and the warring class. They were the people who were in constant wars with each other, the class which were in constant wars with each other. So in the Kshatriyas, there were the kings and the warring class, and these warring class, they were in constant wars with each other to protect their tribes. The Vaishyas, those engaged in agriculture, business and industry and produced goods for the society. So the Vaishyas were the ones who involved in agriculture, business and industry, and they produced goods for the society. The Shudras, those who served the upper 3 classes. So the Shudras were the lowest class in the society, and these Shudras, they served the other 3 classes. The Shudras, they served the Brahmins, Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas. They emerged towards the end of the Rig Vedic period, but were neither hated nor treated as untouchables. So the Shudras, they belonged to the lowest class, and they started to emerge during the end of the Rig Vedic period. And these Shudras, they were not treated as any untouchables, neither was they hated by anyone. These divisions were not very rigid, and one could adopt the profession of one's choice. So these divisions in the society, the 4 classes that we see here, they were not very rigid, they were not very stiff ones. They had very flexible social divisions, and a person could select his profession, person could select the job he wants according to his choice. Within the family, all the varnas could be found. So, in a family, you could find all the varnas. You could find people of different occupations, people who did different jobs. For example, a verse in the Rig Veda says that in a family, the father was a physician, the mother was a corn grinder, and the son a poet. So, in a family, you could find people who did different jobs, who did different types of jobs. For example, you could find a verse, a writing in the Rig Veda, which says that in a family, the father might be a physician, and the mother might be a corn grinder, one who grinds corns, and the son can be a poet. So, similarly, you could find people with different jobs, people who did different jobs in the same family. Now you can see here on top, there's a picture which depicts the 4 occupational groups. The first, you have the Brahmins, they were the priests. Then we have the Kshatriyas, they were the kings or the warring classes. And the third was the Vaishyas, who were the common people who engaged in agriculture, in industry and production. And then we have the Shudras, who were the lowest class and who served the other 3 classes. Now we move on to the food and drinks. Milk and milk products formed an important part of the diet of the Aryans. So the Aryans gave importance to milk and milk products. Milk and milk products, they were an important part of their diet. They used to eat cakes of rice or barley. So the Aryans, they used to bake cakes which were made of rice or of barley. Barley is a kind of cereal. Porridge was prepared from barley. So from barley they would prepare porridge. Porridge is a kind of dish. So porridge was prepared from barley. They consumed soma, a kind of intoxicating drink taken during festivals. So the Aryans, they used to drink soma. Soma was a kind of intoxicating drink. Intoxicating means it had alcohol content. It was an alcoholic drink which causes people to lose control over themselves. So the Aryans, they used to drink soma, which was an intoxicating drink during festivals. It was a ritual drink. The soma was a ritual drink which the Aryans used to drink. Then we have dress. The Aryans wore simple clothes. They consisted of a lower garment called nivi or dhoti and an upper piece like the shawl. So the Aryans, they wore very simple clothes. They used to wear a lower garment, that is a dhoti, and they used to wear a shawl on top. Men tied turbans around their head. Both men and women wore ornaments made of gold, silver, ivory and precious stones. So men, they used to wear dhoti and they used to wear a shawl around their neck, and they used to also tie turbans around their head. You can see here on top, all of them, they have a turban around their head. So they used to wear a turban around their head, and both men and women, they used to wear ornaments which were made of gold, silver, ivory and precious stones. Entertainment. The Aryans enjoyed horse racing, gambling, music and hunting. So the Aryans, they had different kinds of entertainment. They used to entertain themselves by engaging themselves in horse racing. Then they used to have gambling. Gambling is a game which is played with money. So they used to play gambling. Then they used to enjoy music and hunting. Their chief musical instruments were the drum, flute and mridang. So their main musical instruments were the drum, then the flute and the mridang. Mridang is it's similar to a drum. It is similar to a tabla, but it's kept on the lap. The person keeps the mridang on the lap and then plays the instrument. They indulged in indoor games like dice and gambling. So the people, they also used to play indoor games such as dice and gambling. So these were the different the entertainments. The Aryans used to entertain themselves with horse racing, gambling, with music, hunting, and indoor games. So today we learnt about the caste system of the Aryans. There were mainly four groups, four classes in the society: the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Shudras. And we also learnt about the food and drinks of the Aryans, their dress, and about their entertainment. So we'll stop for today, girls. Thank you.